a technical or not? Okay. Any comments or questions on the educational program? No? Any comments or questions in general? Bernardo?
Bernardo from PA, thank you very much, Sid, for your work so far. I really look forward to having you on the team and on my program.
Okay. Thank you, Sid. And now we have next Next we have the 22nd Summer University 2020, so yeah.
Hello everyone, I'm really glad to be here in front of you to present you a new chapter of EPSA Autumn University from Poreč, Romania. I can tell you a brief history of what happened with us since we've been elected. As you can remember, when we've been elected in Sofia, we didn't have the RC complete. In April we had elections and the RC is now complete. We are turning really happy and ready people to organize this event. In May, we had our first live meeting. It might be a bit far, but it happened on the beginning of May, so we had some time to know each other and work together. In August, we finished our logo, as you can see here and there. And in September, we had our first meeting. It's just the first one. We'll have many more, and also with the help of the really soon. This is us. You will learn more about it really soon. What I can tell you is, you've seen our picture. You will learn many more things about us really soon, because soon we'll start with the art presentation that will happen on Instagram. now that we are back. You can see right here our final image. That's also our theme for the educational program. You can see here the dates that in the contract that we already signed with EPSA and EPSA. And I know we've been elected as SSFB, but due to some legal issues that are happening right now in our country with finances and everything, we had to open an account to EPSA, and we are really glad that they decided to help us, and we see this as a really good collaboration since they are our national association, and they offered our help. You could see there also the registration period. Those are the following ones, also stated in our contract with EPSA. The hotel is still the same hotel. I have an update on my update. We signed Monday, I think, the contract with the hotel, so everything is settled. We will have double and single rooms. We will discuss more about the number of those. The restaurant, I think we can fit all in one slot, but that depends a lot on how we decide to arrange the tables and everything, but I really hope we can do this. For the venues for the educational program, we decided to work with the law university. They are really close with us. We worked together before. Their university is at 7 minutes by foot from the hotel, so that's really good. We have big rooms for the podiums and everything. We have 5-7 rooms for workshops. We worked with them before, and I know last time that we proposed that there were some questions about signing the contract with them. We will sign a paper with their tickets, so everything will be alright. Venues for the social program. I know the social program is a really big thing with events. So yeah, you can see here some ideas and things that we are working on. It's nothing settled yet. We have some promises. We find some really good opportunities. We have backups. We have things that require us. We have things that are really close to us. But I don't want to make any promises until I see something signed. We have some really good collaborations and some really good offers, but I will wait until I will give you the final update on that. Helping team, we already opened the call for our helping team. We will have 17 local members, local volunteers, and through our collaboration with EPSA, we decided to have also 3 national members, national volunteers, just in order to bring EPSA spirit closer to our local association and maybe convince them to organize future events in their cities. You can find us on social media. We are quite active there. I hope you saw our stories and you met Roman somehow. You can also see Roman somewhere in the back, right there. And follow us, share those images, those channels with your local members and volunteers and everything, because that's quite important for us. Yeah. I would like to thank you for the time and for you.
Thank you, Sorina. Any comments or questions? Technical, SSFB?
Ioana, SSFB Romania. So you have the video, please.
Okay.
building that you see right there is the thing that you will see from the Palace of Parliament. It has a building there.
Okay, any comments or questions for Summer University? Marco?
Marco, VP so yeah, updates on educational program regarding Summer University. As you know, we have meeting with RC in terms of educational program, and Summer University is more soft skills oriented event, so we already brainstormed on some content regarding soft skills trainings we're going to have, and as well how we're going to introduce in general lifelong learning and continuous development of students, and what is the difference between hard skills and soft skills, because we do believe that we can present these things also from a different perspective. So at the moment we are kind of finalizing this brainstorming part so we can just move on to defining all the content.
Any comments or questions regarding the educational program? Any comments or questions in general? Fernando?
Fernando, VPA, thank you very much for your work so far. Really looking forward to our first collaboration.
Any comments or questions? If not, thank you, Sorina, for your presentation. Now we have 17th EPSA Autumn Assembly, Bosnia and Herzegovina. Sorina, could you please come to the stage?
Good morning, and I hope you're not asleep. My name is Riyad, the chairperson of the 17th EPSA Autumn Assembly. I will keep my updates short to take the period from the annual congress in Sofia to Autumn Assembly today. If you have any questions afterwards, we tried to read all of your messages during the Autumn Assembly, so if you have any questions afterwards, please feel free to ask them. And now I will try and give our updates. So let's go next slide. Okay, so we will be discussing changes in accommodation, logistics, finances, social program, and promotion. The major changes are happening in the accommodation department. The venue of the entire congress has been changed. So the official hotel was in Hotel Sarai. It was a 3-star hotel in the city center. Now we changed 2 hotels, Hotel Halper and Hotel Haven Plaza. It's a 4- and 5-star hotel. I know it sounds a bit exclusive, we will see. Hotel Halper will be the accommodation venue. This is where the participants will be sleeping and eating and having parties. You can see in the pictures how it looks like. The educational program will be happening in the Hotel Haven Plaza. It's a hotel just like 5-6 minutes walk from Hotel Halper. This will be the place for the educational program, the symposia, and so forth. Okay, so for the logistics, opening ceremony, the venue was planned to be the City Hall, and we actually managed to arrange with the City Council the opening ceremony venue. The discount has been made around 30%, and the only thing that is remaining is to just make it official with reservation. Transportation to all the venues for the social program will be provided. Also, transportation from the main bus station and the airport is not going to be provided so far, because Sarajevo is like a really small city. The airport is just like 6 minutes away from the hotel, and the main bus station is like, as you can see, 6 kilometers away. So we will have our community members close nearby to show everybody. If we manage more funds, we will then organize transportation to the main educational and social events. Okay, and yes, free parking space will be available to anyone arriving by car, so that's up to that. Yes, The major part is the finances. Probably worried about the financial side. Actually, we managed to negotiate with change of venues. So the price of the whole event stays the same, almost the same. The registration fee will be €275. And with the City Hall discount, we managed to transfer additional funds to the transportation costs. So yeah, we're doing so good so far. Other points in the budget have stayed the same, especially for the social program, because all of the venues that we have arranged so far are free. And yeah, we're having like a lot of good feedback from especially the city council and the social program venues. They really want to host this event because they know it's a European event. It's the first time happening in Sarajevo, Bosnia and Herzegovina, so they really want to help us. Next slide. Okay, so for the social program, it's slowly coming together. Cocktail party and theme party will be at a premium club in the city center called Club 1. It is very close to the city hall, so after the opening ceremony, we will probably walk or maybe have a transportation buses. We are not sure so far, but it's really close. Regarding the Bosnian night, we are investigating several options at the moment because we have some ideas, but we don't have anything concrete at this moment, but we will in the future. International night will be happening at the hotel, the same as it happened here in Poreč. And for the gala night, we have two options. Actually, we had two options. This so-called Ambassador Museum is a closed venue. We couldn't, unfortunately, reserve it for our Congress, so it probably will be at the hotel. Like it states here, the cost will be the same whichever venue we choose, and it's probably going to be at the hotel. As for the promotion, website is in development, so it will be published sometime at the beginning of 2020. Also, promotional congress posters are finished. I hope you saw them at the symposium hall, and we actually distributed some of the associations so far. You all have also seen our promotional strategy in the participants group with the Bosnian thing. I really hope you enjoyed it, and the competition is lasting until tonight, so feel free to join. And about the promotional video, well, let's just say it's finished and you will see it very soon. Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
Okay. Any comments or questions? KMPSP Netherlands?
I apologize for Mr. But what is the distance between the hotel and the aviation program?
Yeah.
Yeah, CHP of KA 2020. Yes, it's going to be a 6-minute walk, around 650 meters from the hotel to the education program.
PhD Germany?
For the PPH Germany, what was the reason for switching the hotel, and are you able to host the same amount of participants?
Yeah.
Yeah, CHP of AA. The main reason for switching the hotel was the educational capacity of the main hotel. The first time that we arranged the original hotel, we kind of anticipated and in communication with the hotel, they assured us that the capacity would be enough. But after we started looking at the symposium and the workshop educational part, we quickly got insight that it's not going to work, and we started to investigate other options, and we got into a long phase of negotiations with other hotels, and this is where we are now. The other reason was actually the switching, like the location in the city, entire city. Hotel Sarai is like on a small hill, right in the city center. You will see Sarajevo is a hilly town, and it wouldn't be so easy, especially for participants who have like high heels and they're drunk at night. It's really hard to get there, so we tried switching it in a more flat area. That's really hard to find in Sarajevo. So yeah, that was the two main reasons for the switch of hotel.
Any directs? No. Next I have MPS in Macedonia.
Name MPS in Macedonia. So since you mentioned that the social program venue will be free, does it mean that it's still exclusive to us, like for participants?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, the CHP of the A, yes, all of the venues will be exclusive for us. Nobody will be present at venues because their capacity is like 200 people. So even if somebody else wanted to come, they couldn't. But we also reserved it just for us. And the same thing is going with the hotel, the main hotel where the participants are going to be accommodated. The entire hotel is just going to be ours. So no worries that it will be just for us.
Next I have Shishisupada Slovenia.
Nate, Slovenia. I'm sorry if I missed it, but do you have maybe any more updates on the alumni weekend? Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, CHP of Day 2020. Yes, the alumni weekend, we actually kind of don't have any news in that department because we were focused on solving the major issues with the hotel accommodation and everything the past 2-3 months. The alumni weekend will of course happen. We plan to accommodate the participants mainly in the huge tower hotel, the plaza, because the participants will not actually the capacity of the accommodation hotel is like 240 participants. So if we have more, they will be accommodated in the plaza together with the speakers and the alumni weekend participants. Yeah.
Next I have EPSA United Kingdom.
Lauren, EPSA UK. Did you say that the registration fee is €275 and is that correct? That's the maximum it can be for an autumn assembly. And is that, if it is the maximum, is it going to be like that's the final registration fee? Is there not going to be like an earlier first registration fee that's lower than that?
Yeah.
Yes, CHP of AA 2020. Yes, the regulation states that for the first registration period, the maximum fee is €275, but for the second, it can be higher. So we kind of maxed out the limit in the first place. But I want to assure you guys that with this fee, almost 95% of the congress will be covered. We don't have to have too many sponsors. If we gather a lot of sponsors, the fee will be lowered down. And yes, I want to also make a huge exclamation point. The Sarajevo and Bosnia and Herzegovina in general is really cheap. So you can bring €20 and have a good time for 7 days. So trust me.
Any other comments or questions for the Autumn Assembly? Marco?
Marco, VPA Serbia updates on education program. For now, we have 5 speakers settled for educational program, and yeah, the rest is under construction.
Any comments or questions regarding the educational program? No. Now we'll have the promotional video. Ria?
Is it possible to dim the lights for the promotional video? If that's okay with the EGA, of course.
Okay, we're gonna go like this. So while we are doing that, Bernardo, you can take your viewpoint. Sure, okay. more comments or questions for Ria? Other points?
Madam France, thank you, Riyad and the RC for this teaser that was quite super nice. I just wanted to point out that the concern was raised before of the RC members not being attending any EPSA event, and it's really nice to see that some of you guys managed to come this time, and I really hope that it will help you to have these events done. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, thank you. I tried to fulfill my promise from Belgrade, AA, because a lot of our members want to get involved with EPSA. They just can't because of like high registration fees and everything. And we managed actually to put together almost 70% of the RC for this AA. So I hope you guys get to meet us and we actually get a lot of information as well. So, thanks.
Any more comments or questions for the Autumn Assembly? Bernardo?
Bernardo, BBA, yeah, Ria, thank you very much for our collaboration so far, and really do engage with the Bosnians, they are so cool.
Any more comments or questions? If not, we are thank you for your presentation. Now we will, have an upload. Next we have a new reception, so Tilen. Next we will have the open call for future events. But Mihai.
Mihai, it's okay. So now I have the open calls. So far we have the call for the 45, 46 EPSA. Call for the 44th EPSA Annual Congress 2021. Is anybody interested? It's just like to see the emotion. Someone is have thought of it. Okay. The call for the 23rd EPSA Summer University 2021. Okay. Call for the 18th EPSA Autumn Assembly 2021. We have Slovenia there. Then the call for the 45th EPSA Annual Congress 2020-2022. Okay. we have Czech Republic. And then I'm open now the call for the 24th EPSA Summer University 2022. And the call for the 19th EPSA Autumn Assembly 2022. Yeah, I know there is quite some time until then, so you can approach Anne or the EPSA executive if you are interested for more information on how it goes to the EPSA event.
Okay, now we are proceeding with the annual reception. So, Tilen?
Tilen, Vice President, European Affairs. As presented before, the topic of the annual reception was decided already. It's going to be public health and public health safety, where we are headed and how unbreakable or breakable it is. The topic itself was discussed thoroughly with the executive, also among other topics, and it was also discussed together with Alumni Advisory Board and Board of Trustees, which provided great feedback. Regarding the time, I don't have an update on the date of the annual reception, and once I do, I will communicate that to you as soon as possible over email. And also expect everything in regards to the topic and promotional material in your emails soon.
Any comments or questions for the annual reception? Up in Portugal?
Lucas out of Portugal. So we've seen that in this year, there was a connection between the Voxy work and the annual reception, right? And that was a good thing for us. So it's like this in connection with the Voxy work that you want to do, it's a thing that you want to explore.
Tilen, Vice President, European Affairs. So all the different subtopics that will be covered under our topic overall discussed, and we definitely do aim to connect it with our advocacy work. Also to release a statement if possible, and the timeline is like more, let's say, the hard part in it, because the organizing itself will take quite some energy and time. However, yeah, that's definitely my agenda, and I will include the both meetings for sure.
Any more comments or questions? Mihai?
Yeah, Mihai, President. So we discussed in the team this year to try to have by the end of the mandate press release on all of the public health campaigns and outcomes of what we achieved with them this year. So yeah, this will be also connected with the public health safety topic on the reception. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Anyone? If not, thank you for the presentation to them. We will proceed with the torso changes now. First, we have terms of references changes from executive. The first one goes, the 58th EPSA General Assembly adopts the changes of the EPSA terms of reference proposed by the executive. I open the floor for discussion. Do you have any questions or comments to the executive? PhD Germany, please be strict with your hand signals so I can understand what's happening.
Yeah, sorry about that. Matthias, PhD Germany. Yes, we already approached Mihai regarding the changes of the Article 22.1.10, where the reception committee should be accountable in the future. And PhD Germany thinks that this is not necessary to have in the terms of reference, and we think it should be mandatory in the contract, and that's why we would propose to vote for the changes in, what would you call that? Yeah.
Mihai?
Yeah, Mihai, President. Just wanted to say that this is also part of technical, because I saw now that the motivation in there is the wrong one, is from the team visit, so I would ask the General Assembly to read the good one. I talked with PCI, submitted the good one, but we don't know what happened in there. So is it okay for you to read the right motivation for this part? Is this because okay. So the EPSA regulations.
Before that, Mihai, we have a technical from Upper Austria. Sorry.
Maria Apostoster, can we just put it on the screen, whatever that we can see?
Bullshit work, you need some scroll back. Michal?
Okay, so the motivation from the executive reads EPSA regulations clearly hold the EPSA team and official accountable for their work and actions. However, this is not yet done for the reception committees. The reception committees work on EPSA's biggest project, and with it generally affect the EPSA image, so the executive believes they should be held accountable for their actions. As they are not EPSA team members or officials, the executive proposing a different solution through which the executive as the body is closest contact with the reception committees, which also supervises their work, would propose a solution to the members, who would then decide on the proposed consequences, as EPSA events are also the EPSA project that reaches most members, so their opinion is crucial for their successful development and future implementation. What we did here to explain is that, if the EPSA executive sees that there is some problems with the reception committee, we will just have an emergency meeting. Minutes will be drafted and will be sent to the LSs in 4 weeks, and executive will try to also come with a solution. The LSs will be the ones to take action and to provide what will happen. We feel that this should be in torso, as was stated before, because all the others, EPSA team and official, are accountable for their work, and we think this should be the same for the reception committees. Be explained here, not in the contract, because the contracts can suffer different changes throughout the times, and we feel that this is needed also here. Thank you.
Any comments or questions on advance?
And first, written that only the exec can ask for an emergency meeting. Was it possible for the RC as well to ask for one?
Okay, Michal?
Mr. President, the RCs can ask any time for meetings with the executive group. This is what also happened in the past, so we are always ready to schedule wherever the RCs or any setting is in the field they need to have a meeting.
Any comments or questions? Sit on the back, new point.
Yes, Chairperson EPSA 2020 and alumnus. I just want to urge the General Assembly, and especially the LSs and the ODs, to read carefully all what is written in this term of reference changes, since there is a lot of things, especially regarding the events, added, and that the events are already over-regulated, and here we are having more constraint for the events and for the RCs, but none for the executive. Let me just remind you that the RCs are very motivated people who are here willing to organize something, and that from my point of view, especially as alumnus, not especially as RC chairperson, but especially as alumnus, we are here having some quite worried situation.
First, I have a point of information here. Okay.
Eva ITP, I just want to reflect on the comment about regulations. We have regulations to make sure that everything is done in accordance with our wishes, and maybe it might seem that we're over-regulating things, but it's just to prevent future tension, because if something is written down, both parties are immediately aware of it and can act upon it, and that's why we are continuously updating close-line handbooks with developments throughout the years. So I would just like to remind everyone of that fact around the regulations.
Next, I have Mihai's direct. Mihai?
Yes, Mr. President, maybe the EPSA team is not stated clearly about the communication or the work together with RC, but the EPSA team is responsible in a whole for all their actions, so they responded directly to General Assembly and the LSs. So we feel that exactly the same should be with our reception committees, and we try to find the solution, and in our opinion the solution is also for the LSs and the General Assembly to be the one taking the decision upon the reception committees. Is not the executive, is the, as I said, is the LSs and the General Assembly, as stated in that change.
Any other comments or questions? EPHD Germany?
Matthias, EPHD Germany. Yes, we think that the reception committee is somewhat also responsible because it leaves a very, very bad image on the own association in the own country if they fail to deliver a very bad job. And therefore we think that it would be more suitable to have it in the contract, as the contract is something that is more close to the EPSA executive and the reception committee rather than the torso, which is a more public thing, because it's just something that those two parties should be very aware of and not something that has to be stated so publicly in the torso. Thank you.
Mihai?
Yes, Mihai, President. Yeah, I understand your point, but the one thing that we thought of also for the contract and for this to be in the contract is if the reception committee does not feel comfortable in having such, I don't know, like how they to be accountable for their actions in the contract, and they just want to change it as yeah, we are discussing with the reception committee the changes of the contract each time, and we are open to change it based on their needs. Then the executive would be in an like blocked, because we would not know what to do if that would be in the contract and it would be debated. But if it would be in torso stated clearly, we wouldn't know what to do.
Any other comments or questions? Sid on the back.
Sid, especially as alumnus and not as chairperson of EPSA AC 2020, yes, I completely agree with that, but basically what is written here is that like we can have disciplinary actions against the RCs and never against the executive, but like let me just remind you that the RCs are trying to do their best, and that for some case, as we saw in these last years, the executive and the EPSA team can also have some bad experience with the RCs, and the RCs basically cannot have anything to do, just wait for this kind of disciplinary actions. Thank you.
Eva, point of information.
Eva, IPP, there are articles in Torso that explain how executive and officials can be punished or reported or something to the PC. So that already exists, and executive is already held accountable for their actions.
Any other comments or questions? Mihai?
Mihai, EPSA President, yeah, just a point of information for any problems with the executive or the team, anyone can just inform and report to the PC, and PC will announce the members. Thank you.
Și să se poate Slovenia?
Nate Shusas of Slovenia. I just want to say that we agree with this because things can get quite complicated when in terms of putting some articles into the contract. And yeah, we still have to aware that although yeah, the RC are doing an amazing job and this is very stressful for them, but this is the EPSA event, so yeah, like EPSA exec is in charge of those events. Thank you.
9.3 proposed by Kasper, seconded by Push, Slovenia. So now I now open the floor for discussion on the motion, procedural motion. Any comments, questions? I close the floor for, okay, technical Mihai.
Close the floor for discussion.
Okay, thanks. Now I'll read the motion. 9.15. Sorry. Guys, wait. Point of information, Lord.
Okay, but parliamentarian, we are voting on the 9.3 to close the discussion itself, so you cannot do a 9.15 on the 9.3.
So that's my bad. So anyone against the 9.3? Any abstentions? The motion carried unanimously. So now I read the motion. The motion reads, So any seconder for that? Okay, I'm reading the motion. The 58 EPSA General Assembly adopts the changes of the EPSA terms of references proposed by the executive. Anyone against? Any abstentions? The motion carried unanimously. Point of information, Duarte.
Okay, Duarte, parliamentarian. We had a proposal from the 9.15, it was not seconded. We cannot have like a procedural motion during the voting procedure, so please be aware of that for the next voting procedures itself. We were already on the voting procedure and we cannot have procedural motions on that. It was clear for everyone? Okay.
Next, we have terms of reference executive. Standing orders, executive changes. Report on it first.
Maybe on the first, well, I don't know like what it is exactly, but what will be the consequences of the 9.15 on those motions? Like, how can it be put on separately?
But that's a parliamentarian. What happens here is the same with the reports. For example, the member state is proposing the 9.15 needs to say what wants to vote separately on the document that the executive sent. For example, the article itself that he wants to vote like separately.
Okay, now we are proceeding with the standing order changes from executive. So the motion reads, the 58 EPSA General Assembly adopts the changes of the EPSA standing orders proposed by the executive. I open the floor for discussion. Any comments or questions? Mihai?
Close the floor for discussion.
So the motion reads, the 58 EPSA General Assembly adopts the changes of the EPSA standing orders proposed by the executive. Anyone against? Any abstentions? The motion carried unanimously. Now we have the changes on the handbooks. First we have executive handbook. The motion reads, the 58th EPSA General Assembly approves the changes of the executive handbook proposed by the executive. I open the floor for discussion on the motion. Mihai?
Yeah, President, I close the floor for discussion.
So the motion reads, the EPSA 8 EPSA General Assembly approves the changes of the executive handbook proposed by the executive. Anyone against? Any abstentions? The motion carried unanimously. Next, we have the changes on the handbook of EPSA coordinators. The motion reads, the 58 EPSA General Assembly approves the changes of the handbook of EPSA coordinators proposed by the executive. So I open the floor for discussion on the motion. Anyone? No? Mihai?
President, I close the floor for discussion.
So the motion reads, the 58th EPSA General Assembly approves the changes of the handbook of the EPSA coordinators proposed by the executive. So anyone against? Any abstentions? The motion carried unanimously. Next, we have LS handbook. The motion reads, the 58th EPSA General Assembly approves the changes of the LS handbook proposed by the executive. I open the floor for discussion on the motion. Anyone? No? Mihai?
Yeah, President, I close the floor for discussion.
So the motion reads, the 58th EPSA General Assembly approves the changes of the LS handbook proposed by the executive. Anyone against? Any abstentions? The motion carried unanimously. Next we have events handbook. The motion reads, the 58th EPSA General Assembly approves the changes of the events handbook proposed by the executive. I open the floor for discussion on the motion. Anyone? No? Mihai?
I close the floor for discussion by President.
So the motion reads the 58th EPSA General Assembly approves the changes of the events handbook proposed by the executive. Any against? Any abstentions? The motion carried unanimously. Next we have EPSA House Handbook. The motion reads the 58th EPSA General Assembly approves the changes of the EPSA House Handbook proposed by the executive. I open the floor for the discussion on the motion. Anyone? Mihai?
Hi, President, I close it for discussion.
So the motion reads the 58th EPSA General Assembly approves the changes of the EPSA House Handbook proposed by the executive. Anyone against? Any abstentions? The motion carried unanimously. Next we have Reports Handbook. The motion reads the 58th EPSA General Assembly approves the changes of the Reports Handbook proposed by the executive. I open the floor for discussion on the motion. Anyone? No? Mihai?
Hi, President, I close it for discussion.
So the motion reads the 58th EPSA General Assembly approves the changes of the Reports Handbook proposed by the executive. Anyone against? Any abstentions? The motion carried unanimously.
From KPSC, just very briefly, KPSC is wondering why we don't have a training project handbook and maybe we can look into making one.
Point of information, Marco.
Marco Vipiledu actually are already working on this.
So we proceed. Next we have behind technical.
Behind EPSA, President, yeah, we went too fast and we were not prepared to reach here. Actually, yeah. We thought there would be more discussions on the changes, like all the handbooks. So we now, I will ask maybe. Sorry. Okay, we'll now have a presentation from IPSF, and then we will go to the break.
Yeah, Bernard, I just really hope that you are liking our job with these changes because we're not seeing any emotions or discussions throughout this change that we are doing. To be honest, without feedback, might be a bit concerning. I hope that you read everything and that you will be with us.
After Austria, direct.
Well, yeah, Austria, to be honest, I thought that's why we did it to the OG meeting, so that we can move fast now. So we provided our feedback already at the OG meeting.
IPSF.
Hello everyone, my name is Ram. I'm the chairperson of the European Regional Office of the International Pharmaceutical Students Federation. So, IPSF is the leading international advocacy organization for pharmaceutical students and research graduates, and we do it by promoting improved healthcare through the provision of information, education, networking, and a range of publications and professional initiatives. So basically, we were founded in 1949, which makes us the oldest faculty-based organization in the world. We were founded by 80 members, and now we are representing 350,000 pharmaceutical sciences students in more than 92 countries. It's not updated to the new ones, but 92 countries. So the structure I will review brief is very similar to the other organizations that we have in international backlogs. So the only difference is we are having 5 regional offices and we are working at a global and regional level. So So for the 5 regions, we have the African region, Afro, also the Asian Pacific region, Emerald, the Eastern Mediterranean, Europe for the same level, and Far Latin America. So we are based in the Netherlands, in Den Haag. The FIP is one of our leading partners, and for that it makes sense for us to be based on the FIP headquarters, and a lot of activities we are doing with them and collaborating on the different sections that they have, either academic sessions, community pharmacy, hospital pharmacy. We are collaborating with them in the different sections that they have. So at the European level, we are currently representing 1,000 students in 30 countries and 36 member organizations. So for our live organizations, the first one is FIP, the International Pharmaceutical Federation, representing, it's a professional organization representing pharmacists worldwide. Also we have partnerships with UN and a lot of UN agencies, including WHO, which we are having official relations. What does it mean? Every 3 years we have to set a plan for 3 years to organize activities and initiatives with them. And after that, if we are having official relationships, we are invited for all the events. For UNESCO, we also have operational relationships, which means that every event from UNESCO, we are also invited to represent pharmacists. In terms of the manufacturers, we are working with IPMA, the International Federation of Pharmaceutical Manufacturing Associations, and the leading organizations that we are working at the student level is EPSA, at the European level, European Pharmaceutical Student Association, and IPMSA for medical students. Also, for public health, we are in the Alliance for Health Promotion. So what does it mean that we are having official relations with WHO? It means that every year we are going to the World Health Assembly and the World Health Organization regional conferences in every region with a group of students from pharmacy, and everyone can attend it, you can apply, and it's really cool to have students there.
Sorry, the other IPSF representative, it's the Ukraine table, so could you please? Okay, thank you.
Here is the photo with Dr. Tedros, Director General of WHO. So we have more than 6 events every year. So we have one for each region, the regional symposium, and also the World Congress. It's going to be in South Korea. So next one. These are random photos from different IPSF events. You can see the different backgrounds and cultures and very different settings of the different events. And next we are working on major 3-4 areas in pharmacy education, professional development, public health, and the student exchange. For pharmacy education, we are focused on preparing the students with having the best pharmacy education they need at the faculty and academic level, and for that we have webinars, internships on various companies or institutions like WHO, FIP, WHO, UNAIDS, FMA, research, also I will show you next, and webinars of course. We have been very advocating for the next statements. I don't know if you know, but it's basically a set of statements defining what should be pharmacy education worldwide, and the students were providing statements, and we are currently collaborating with that. Here's the photo from like 2 weeks ago. We are having a health hackathon with FIT in Canada. So this is the Young Researchers Forum. It's a new activity that we have. It's basically a forum when students that are doing research in science can collaborate with input and discuss with students worldwide, all around the world. There are things that they are doing. If you are interested in research, I think this is a very cool website for you to share your knowledge. So for the professional development, we are basically trying to give the skills to prepare the students to be better pharmacists in the future. So we have very different setting of IPSF official events, and I'm really happy that you hear a lot of associations like you are organizing these events at the local and national level. That's also the goal of IPSF, to allow and prepare you if you want to organize these events at the local level. So the patient counseling event is not based on community pharmacy, it's to prepare students to actually hands-on training on training counseling, CPAC pharmacy professional awareness campaign, clinical skills event is more about clinical training, compounding event for compounding, and the new marketing skills event is more about the selling and the marketing itself. So for the public health, we are trying to ensure a healthier population, and for that we have different activities that, as you can see, we are working on diabetes, like every major topic in public health. Also we have on fire. I don't know if you know, but on fire is one of our activities that we are most proud. We ask associations to collect was at the local or national level, and I think this activity is a very important practice because we are helping to promote them. So this is a student exchange program. It's a leading professional exchange for pharmacy students worldwide. So students from Europe, for example, can go to Singapore or to Brazil or to Turkey to do an internship. We are currently offering 1,000 and more internships every year. So for the WHO Europe that we were representing there, if you want to apply, you can also ask European pharmacy students. We are there representing European pharmacy students, and this year we're providing a statement in primary healthcare and literacy. In WHA, the World Health Assembly, we organized a side event on vaccine literacy and separation for the students. So this is our social media and random photos, and that's it. Thank you if you have any doubts.
Thank you, EPSA. Is there any comments or questions for the presentation? Okay, thank you. So I assume we are now proceeding with the break. Behind?
Yeah, behind this one. We'll let the voting right now.
Everyone raise them up high.